And yeah, the headaches are back, and I've been having these weird-ass dreams. Like in this one, I'm in the park, and I'm headed for the comic book shop. The new Man of Steel Man TPB has come in, and I'm pretty hyped for it. I'm looking around the store for it, and I can't really find it at all. I'm kind of in a tizzy, so I asked Sully what's up. And, you know, he for some reason he tells me that he sees Patty near my house. It turns out that every single day of my life is an endless cycle in which I look for Patty, and it's pretty depressing, actually. All she really does is either give me some, you know, ticket to Ice Cream Mountain or as a CD or something, and nothing really matters. I go back to my neighborhood anyway, see if I can find her. Of course she's not there, because she's never there. She's always off doing something else where I just happen to not be. I go ahead and ask Judy where she is, you know, and Judy's all, oh, what's that on your face? It's a big ass zit. Oh, look at you. And I'm like, oh shit, not again, you know. I gotta do this teenage angst shit all the time. It drives me up a fucking wall. And, you know, she doesn't have anything that can help me out with it. And of course, I have a hallucination instantly. And this is where it kicks in, where I have underwear outside of my pants, a belt on my head, and I'm wearing a towel. I don't know what that means. Maybe you can help me out with that later on. But anyway, I have a limited amount of power that I have to kill my sister with. And I can shoot her about 3 times, and it'll pretty much take her out. The problem is, I wasted all my power, so then suddenly I decide I have to turn into my dog in order to kill her. So at this point, just so you're clear, I am my dog with a towel around his neck and a belt on my head, and I killed my sister. This is cathartic for me in some way. I don't know how it's supposed to be cathartic, but it is. Anyway, I bother her again, and she tells me that I can probably go to the park and find Skeeter, you know, because he's got the Zit Zap that can cure my problem. I don't know what Zit Zap is. I mean, I've heard of Clearasil, I've heard of all these different products, but you know what? I've never heard of fucking Zit Zap. I go to the park to get the Zit Zap from Skeeter, and of course he's not there. He's, you know, I mean, he does show up sometimes in my dreams, but very rarely. Usually he's just this weird disembodied voice on the phone. So anyway, and then I see the nematode, and you know, at some point the nematode became real. Before it was just something I was chasing, but you know, suddenly the nematode is a real force that I can talk with, and he's a lizard, and his name is Herman. It's really odd. His stomach hurts, and I have to help this lizard with his stomach hurting. I'm really confused about why I have to help him with it. I think I had, you know, truthfully, I think I just had some bad, like, beaten nachos that night, and it's really messing me up, man. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I have to go ask Alan Moo about what's going on with this fucking lizard. They got some Pepto-Bismol. They're the only dudes in town who have anything that can help me out, right? So I go back to Moody School. I go back to the park and head to Moody School, and I ask Alan Moo what's up. And they're pretty helpful, actually. I don't play any stupid games, really. They just straight up give me exactly what I need. They give me some of that delicious Clearasil and you know, a bottle of the stuff for the lizard. Put them together, and that pretty much solved my problem. They are kind of rude, though, I gotta admit. This happens to me about every Wednesday. I don't know why. They do construction outside my apartment, and I think the noise kind of jogs something in my memory that I'm probably blocking out. And every time it happens, I have this exact same dream. Now, there's usually the Quailman stuff happens often, and it's kind of weird. But that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is that I'm talking to these people, and they're all the wrong color. They're not of a human race. I mean, I can deal with talking animals. That's some fantasy story shit. I can deal with that. But I have no idea why I'm the only one who's of an actual flesh color, and it just doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, and there's this other one too, right? So it turns out that all this time I've been in Canada, and everyone is bilingual, and they all speak French, including myself. What does that even mean? So anyway, I just gave this stuff to the nematode, so I go down to Swirlies, and I see my old buddy Fintrook, who's from some fake country I've never heard of, and he's telling me that, you know, the guy's assigning stories of the Weekly BB to Patty, and that's what she probably is. I don't know why I would keep looking for her. I really just don't want to go home and get some nice sleep. But at this point, I'm kind of trapped in this impossible cycle. Anyway. I'm kind of worried about it because Guy is older. I think Patty's attracted to him. You know, that's the kind of problems I have. So I go to school, and at school, I see Chalky, and Chalky likes to talk a lot. He got some issues, and he tells me that Guy's probably over in the office of the Weekly Baby, and he hasn't seen anything either. He hasn't seen Patty. He never sees anything. He's blinded by his own vanity. He's so goddamn gorgeous. I really hate him with all my heart, but I can live with that. So anyway, I get through with him, and I go over to the Weekly BB office, and he, you know, Chalky, I mean, he's got his batting practice issues and whatever, but, you know, that's his thing. I go over and I talk to Guy, who was my pseudo arch nemesis, aka boss, and he's like, you know, he's kind of pissed at me, and he says I have to go cover the Weekly BB tournament, the beat ball tournament. I know we eat beets. There's a band called the Beats. Why is there a beat ball? It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Beats, they wouldn't even have a consistent size. Is there someone who has to actually sit down and measure official beat balls? That, like, are they actually balls, or is it just called beat ball because we're in this place that is obsessed with beats? I mean, they are nature's candy, but there's no reason to be excited about this at all. Anyway, he tells me to go find Chalky again, because Chalky knows all about beat ball, and he'll help me cover it because he's so great. So here I am, trapped between two just supposedly perfect people, Guy and Chalky. They both know everything, and they're so perfect. And he says, you know, if you help me, maybe you'll be able to find Patty, because I sent her to cover it too, or whatever. I don't know. It's just a lot of shit. Anyway, I go back all the way across the hall in this lousy 3-room school, and I talk to Chalky, and he's like, you know, oh no, I left a beat ball on the roof. I'm a fucking idiot. Help me get it. And he's like, no, but we gotta get to the beat ball game. And, you know, and Chalky suddenly, oh wait, there's no beat ball game today. We're complete idiots. There's no beat ball game. And then Doug's like, oh man, Guy's a moron. You tricked me. Did I mention that I'm Doug from the cartoon? It kind of goes in and out. Like sometimes I'm me, sometimes I'm Doug, and it gets more distressing every time I wake up, and I just have like almost a heart attack. I get shortness of breath. It really bothers me. So I go back to confront Guy about it, and he's like, oh yeah, wait, the beat ball game was actually next week. I can't believe it. So then, you know, I ask him all about where Patty is. Where is Patty? Fine, whatever, where's Patty? And he's like, no, the reporter never reveals his confidential sources. And I'm like, why are you even here? Why am I talking to you? Why am I doing any of this? And then suddenly, out of nowhere, I'm Quailman again. That's the name I've given him, Quailman. The speed and the powers of a quail. And I have to rescue Patty, who is now Super Sport. Patty has become a superhero now. I used to just be me and Skeeter, but now it's this whole messy team full of everyone I know. They all have their own individual powers. I mean, there's no excuse for this garbage. It's just ridiculous, beyond belief. Anyway, I save her from this dastardly machine. It's not too bad. I just have to kind of hit the sides with my laser eyes, you know. Then suddenly the machine is helpless and stupefied, and I'm out of there. I talk to Guy again, and it's not a big deal. He tells me where Patty is. He says she's at the mall buying a CD the last time you saw her. And I don't know why these people all know where Patty is. They never move. None of them ever move, and they all know where she is. None of them move, and they all know where she is. It drives me up a wall. So anyway, I go to the mall, and you know, it's not really so much a mall as it is like to an arcade and a record store. There's some like sale signs around the mall, like there's something there, but there's nothing. There's no stores. There's nothing in this mall at all. It's like an outlet, kind of a strip mall thing, but there's nothing there. I walk around the arcade. There's nobody in there. All the machines, the exact same game. Every last one is playing Centipede. I don't know why this mall would be full of centipedes. Maybe I have some kind of subconscious fear of bugs. I did want to be an entomologist when I was a kid. I was kind of obsessed with centipedes for a little bit. Maybe that's it. Anyway, I go to the record store, and Connie Binge is there, and I ask her what's going on. You know, I ask her where Patty is. That's what I ask her. I ask everybody I know where Patty is. I admit it. That's the kind of thing I have to deal with. Anyway, my next door neighbor supposedly knows where she is, I guess, Mr. Dink. So, blindly, like, you know, I just decided to go to his house and just roll up in there like nothing's wrong. It's completely illogical. I took a quarter off his floor. I talked to him, and he tells me that he's got a fucking robot dog that can find her. A robot dog. You know, so not like an Abo or something. Or, I don't know. It gets stupider and stupider as I go along. What he tells me, go find my dog. I don't know where the dog is. He just says, go find my dog. I talked to him again just to be sure that's what he said, and he tells me, did you get it yet? What does that even mean? Now, here's where the dream logic comes in, because I walk outside and I say, oh, you know, I guess I better go to the mall to get that dog. What? What does that even mean? Why would I know that? So I find the dog on the floor at the mall, and oh no, it's out of batteries. I was just at the mall, and there was nothing here. Who put the dog there in the interim between the time? So anyway, I need some batteries. So the logical place I go to is school to my locker to get some batteries. Because, of course, that's where you instantly go to get some batteries. My body is sort of moving of its own accord, and logic is just making me angrier and angrier. And my principal comes up to me and he says, there's no dogs allowed at school. Let me take this robot dog from you. I've had a dog following me around in every one of these dreams. A fucking live dog walking around with me. He has not somehow noticed that it is a dog, but when I find a robot dog, he gets mad at me. So I put on my underwear and my belt and my towel, and I go to take out the giant robotic effigy of his head. It's simple. I kill him. I go to look for him. He's left somehow. I go into my classroom and he's not there. Nobody's in there. Nobody. Why would anybody ever be in a classroom? So I go to the detention room, of course. Since I have 2 weeks detention, I guess that's where he is. He likes to hang out in this cracked out ghetto detention room. I talk to him, and you know, I trick him. I basically blackmail him, saying, you know, that's the mayor's husband's dog. You don't want to get mad at him for that. And he's like, well, fine, funny, but yeah, don't fuck around anymore. I go back home, or next door to my house, whatever, and I give Mr. Dink the dog, and I set the dog on, set up in automatic mode. He goes, go find Patty. And of course, the obvious thing that happens is he goes to find burger patties. Not patty mayonnaise. Patties with mayonnaise, get it? Because Patty and Patty. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Happens every time. I think I just need a refill on my pills, really.